and welcome. You're watching Don Bosco Media Network. This is Abigail Karmalim bringing to you the Salesian news across the globe. In the year especially dedicated to St. Joseph on the day of his liturgical feast last Friday, 19 March, the Salesian parish of Shemishal dedicated to St. Joseph celebrated its patron saint, who is also one of the patrons of the entire congregation, with a solemn Eucharistic presided over by the Metropolitan Archbishop of the place, Monsignor Adam Zal, who on this occasion also entrusted the entire Archdiocese to the guardian of the Redeemer. On behalf of the entire parish, those present at the ceremony were welcomed by Don Bogdan Novak, parish priest and director of the local Salesian community belonging to the province of Poland, Krakow PLS. So Monsignor Zal in his homily remarked that St. Joseph has and will have many devotees. Among them is St. Joseph Sebastian Pelzar, Bishop of Shemishal, patron of the current diocesan pastoral year. He, by the way, wrote in 1921 a special pastoral letter for Lent dedicated to St. Joseph. In the same letter, he wrote that one should look at the dignity of St. Joseph, his virtues, how to venerate him, in what to follow him. And in many writings, he returned several times to the idea and the need to honor St. Joseph, said the Archbishop. After the Eucharist, the Archbishop blessed a painting of St. Joseph, the fruit of the generosity of the parish community, who will visit the houses of the Salesian parish following a rich program of wandering. And the celebration ended with the entrustment before the Blessed Sacrament of the entire Archdiocese of the entire parish community in St. Joseph, first by Archbishop Zal and then by Don Novak and some lay representatives of the community. Every time you have done these things to only one of these younger brothers of mine, you have done it to me. Gospel of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 40. It is this awareness that pushes many Salesians and many of their benefactors and collaborators to undertake initiatives, sometimes large, sometimes small, but always aimed at benefiting some younger brother. Like the two young students of the Don Bosco Vocational Training Center, CFP, in Calauan in the province of the Northern Philippines, FIN, who thanks to the support of Salesian Missions, the Salesian Missionary Prosecutor's Office in New Rochelle, USA, can now continue to study. The financial assistance received will allow students to obtain the education necessary to find and maintain a stable job. The CFP Don Bosco in Calauan offers training courses in automotive assistance, maintenance of motorcycle engines, maintenance of computer system, electrical installation and maintenance and shielded metal arc welding. At Don Bosco in Calauan, we are really grateful to Salesian Missions for the support it has received, especially at this time of serious crisis, said 100-year-old Administrator and Technical Director Don Jeffrey L. Mangobit. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to break the vicious circle of poverty among young people through quality education and technical training that will lead them to achieve a dignified future. The students and their parents are very grateful for this wonderful opportunity. We know that access to education is at the foundation of a better future. For this reason, the commitment to education must continue even while in the midst of a global health crisis, commented Don Gus Baig, head of Salesian Missions. In many countries of the world where poverty is high and access to education is not really for everyone, it is essential that Salesians continue to offer technical and vocational training to as many young people as possible to guarantee them access to stable work. The Salesian Center Sant Giuseppe Artigiano in Elche, which offers secondary school, baccalaureate and vocational training, is celebrating 50 years of work this year at the service of training young people and for the benefit of local companies to which it offers technically and humanly qualified people. Decades of constant educational work with the Salesian style that is our brand, summarizes Don Miguel Gambin, Director of Salesian Work. In these 50 years at the Salesian Center, many things have happened that are worth mentioning. And Don Gambin adds, the persistence of an educational center for 50 years means talking about thousands of young people who have passed through its classroom, its courtyards and its premises, and who have been brought with them a baggage of formation, dreams and shared hopes that will remain with them throughout their lives. Moreover, during these years, many young people have been included in the labor market and have managed to find a place in the world even having everything against them. To commemorate the 50th anniversary of its foundation and to celebrate its connection to its citizenship, the Vocational Training Center has decided to deliver a monument to the city of Elche. Specifically, it is a statue of a height of 1.80 meters of the Lady of Elche, made with sheets welded by the students of the mechanic course. The Mayor of Elche also thanks students and teachers for the implementation of this initiative, while the Director of Salesian Work thanked the City Council for the collaboration and concluded by stating, "There is a lot to remember to continue dreaming of the future." The Italian ambassador to Albania, Fabrizio Bucci, Professor Lucia Cicciarelli, Director of the Office of Education and Training, and Dr. Serafino Stagiano, Head of the Sales Office and Director of Professional Centers, were hosted by the Director of the Kendra Don Bosco School in Tirana, Don Gino Martucci. On this occasion, they inaugurated the Assembly for the Professional Orientation of the Technical, Construction, Mechanical, Hydraulic and Gastronomic sectors. The Don Bosco Development Society (DBDS) has distributed over the past few weeks more than 14,500 packets of noodles to disadvantaged women and children from 35 different Mumbai slums. The distribution was also made possible thanks to the sponsorship of the project by the company Hindustan Unilever Limited, to which were the thanks of Don Rolvin De Mello, Executive Director of DBDS. On the 25th March 2021, Sister Teresia Furiki, Mother General of the Sisters of Charity of Jesus (SCG), delivered the missionary cross to the 3 missionaries from Japan to Korea and Brazil, departing from Uganda and South Sudan. Don Alfred Maravilla, General Counsel for Missions, was invited to celebrate the Eucharist. During the homily, he presented them with 10 recommendations taken from the writings to the missionaries of Don Vincenzo Simati. The Nuns of Charity make 2 appearances in Sudan. The first opened in 2011 in Juba and the second in Gambo. The parish was entrusted to the Salesians in 2006. In response to the request of the Salesians, the sisters also agreed to administer the clinic, which today has an average of 100 patients per day. In Uganda, on the other hand, the nuns opened a new presence in Gulu, a training house with a group of aspirants and 2 postulants. The 3 new communities in Africa are under the Generalizia SCG. The Nuns of Charity of Jesus were founded by Don Antonio Cavoli and Don Vincenzo Simati in Miyazaki, Japan in 1937. They are part of the Salesian family, and today there are 930 nuns working in 16 countries. On the 5th anniversary of the publication of the encyclical Amoris Laetitia, and in the year dedicated to Saint Joseph, the family sector of the Association of Salesian Cooperators of the Italy, Middle East, Malta region organized an online meeting on the Zoom platform entitled "Putting Yourself at the Service of Families, a Time of Hope." The meeting, scheduled for 31st March at 9 p.m. will be led by Father Marco Vianelli, Director of the Office of the Pastoral Care of the Family of the EEA. In Salesian works all over the world, it was celebrated yesterday, March 28, Palm Sunday, with which Holy Week opens. Many faithful, in compliance with the anti-COVID rules of the respective countries, participated in the traditional blessing of the palm and olive branches in the procession and at Holy Mass. Here are some of the most beautiful shots immortalized by Salesians all over the world and shared also through the social channels, which show how this important day was celebrated. The teaching of programming is no longer exclusive to secondary or technical education. According to a report by the World Economic Forum, many of the students who enter primary schools today when they were adults will do jobs that do not yet exist. In school planning, students are generally divided into work teams presented with a problematic situation and asked to make a critical analysis looking for possible solutions. Each team will try to break down the main problem into sub-problems and design solutions by analyzing the different advantages and disadvantages, exchanging ideas and suggestions collaboratively. And in the end, there will be a debate to discuss which models to use. Sometimes there will be an optimal solution superior to all the others, but in general, children will have been able to develop several equivalent algorithms, a series of steps that allows us to do something that solve the situation using different strategies. In this way, learning to program is almost an excuse to learn to think. Programming on a computer is just the last step in the process that motivated students to perform a critical, logical, and mathematical analysis to find an algorithm that would provide an answer to the original problem. In addition to a great advantage of learning to program, especially when using certain programming languages based on educational platform, is that kids stop being simple users. In conclusion, all students have the right to be trained in these fields so necessary for the future. This year, 2021, the Salesian colleges in Peru face new challenges in the face of the pandemic that has marked a before and after in education. The return to the classroom is a fact somewhat removed from reality. However, the commitment, affection, and enthusiasm of teachers is vital for the good learning of children and adolescents. This new school year continues in virtual mode. During the first week of March, the virtual courtyards of the Salesian colleges were joyful in welcoming students who from home start classes full of high expectations accompanied by their parents. The presence of General Pico organized a rally to help Patagonia communities affected by the fires. Mobilized by pain, loss and despair, members of General Pico's community collected inputs to help with the desire to restart in the places that began a reconstruction process after the fires. We pray for all the victims of violence, especially those of the attack that happened in Indonesia in front of the Makassar Cathedral. So Pope Francis, during the Marian prayer of the Angelus on Palm Sunday, turned his heart to all the victims of violence. So viewers, with that we have come to the end of today's edition. See you again tomorrow at the same time and in the same channel. Thank you for joining us.